Welcome to this deep dive. We're taking the info you shared about Kirk Medas and really digging into his story today.
Yeah, Kirk Medas, many people know him from MTV, from Floribama Shore, of course.
Absolutely. So let's unpack his journey, figure out what made him connect with so many folks.
Well, starting at the beginning, he was born in Atlanta, Georgia. That was January 19th, 1992.
Southern roots.
Exactly. And, that often comes with a strong sense of family, community values. It feels like that was probably part of his foundation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And before the fame, before Floribama Shore, he wasn't always on TV, right?
No, he was working as a social media manager for a company called Shouty LLC.
Huh. Social media manager. Yeah, I wonder, did that experience communicating online, connecting with people digitally?
Did it give him a leg up?
Yeah, exactly. Did it kind of hint at where he was headed?
I think that's a really interesting point. Knowing social media probably gave him, maybe subconsciously, a good handle on what people relate to, how to engage an audience online.
Like, he already understood connection, even through a screen.
Right. And that skill, definitely something you could see translating to his TV presence later on.
Then 2017 hits, and bam, he's on Floribama Shore.
Yep. The show puts 8 young adults together, Florida Panhandle. Classic setup.
And it sounds like Kirk just stood out pretty quickly. People liked him.
They really did. I think in reality TV, sometimes authenticity feels a bit forced.
Oh, for sure.
But with Kirk, it seemed like his charisma was just genuine. People felt they were seeing the real guy.
And audiences really grab onto that, don't they?
Absolutely. That real connection is gold.
So for this deep dive, our goal isn't just to list events. We want to get at the key parts of who he was, on screen and off.
Right. And ultimately the impact he had.
We'll cover his time on the show, his personal life, those tough challenges later on.
And yeah, the legacy he leaves behind. Let's start with Floribama Shore itself. He was there for all 4 seasons.
Looks like it, yeah. 2017 right through to 2021. That's quite a chunk of your life to share so publicly.
It really is. And within that cast dynamic, what really stood out?
Well, his interactions were key, weren't they? Especially that friendship with Cody Butts.
Oh, yeah. That bromance was huge for the show. Viewers loved it.
Why do you think that resonated so much?
Well, it felt like a real portrayal of male villain, Not just the usual reality TV stuff. They showed vulnerability, humor.
Right. It wasn't just the crazy parties and drama. You had those laughs, but also some genuinely heartfelt moments between them. Grounded the show a bit.
Exactly. It showed real bonds can form even in that kind of intense manufactured environment, added emotional weight.
In Floribama, wasn't his only TV gig, was it? He popped up elsewhere.
Right. He did Fear Factor, and also, how far is Tattoo Far?
Okay, so what did those appearances tell us? Fear Factor seems adventurous.
Definitely showed he was willing to push himself. And How Far is Tattoo Far? Maybe showed a more humorous side, maybe even a bit vulnerable again.
So it wasn't just one note. He was building a broader reality TV presence.
Yeah, showing different facets of his personality, not just the Floribama Shore guy.
But if you had to nail down what defined him on TV, that thing that kept fans hooked.
I think it comes back to that mix. The humor was there, definitely, but also this real sincerity, authenticity.
Yeah, that word keeps coming up, authenticity.
It's like a magnet, isn't it? In a world that can feel so fake sometimes, someone who seems genuinely themselves, people connect with that. You feel like you're getting the real person.
Okay, so let's move beyond the cameras. What about Kirk's personal life, his character off screen? Was he the same guy?
It really sounds like it. People talk about that infectious laugh, and being incredibly loyal.
Qualities you'd want in a friend.
Totally. He seemed to have this knack for just connecting with people easily, genuinely. And that wasn't just for his close friends. Fans felt it too.
It's that feeling, isn't it? That what you see is what you get. People really admire that ability to just be yourself.
They really do. It makes someone relatable, trustworthy somehow. You feel like you know them, even if you only see them on TV.
And it wasn't all just fun and games either. He talked about deeper things too.
Yeah, he apparently spoke quite a bit about how important family was to him and about his own journey, like personal growth.
That kind of stuff definitely connects on a different level, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It shifts him from just being a reality star to being, a person figuring things out, just like everyone else. Creates a stronger bond.
He was also pretty active on social media, right?
Yeah.
Engaging with fans.
Very active, and by all accounts, pretty positive too. Sharing his own thoughts, reflections, actually talking with people.
That helps keep things grounded, I bet. despite the TV fame.
Definitely. And that direct line to fans, it builds community, right?
Yeah.
Let him share things unfiltered, reinforce that down-to-earth vibe.
Okay, so now we have to talk about the harder stuff. The information you shared included his health struggles near the end.
Yeah, tragically. In April 2025, he was hospitalized. Very serious condition, necrotizing pancreatitis.
Necrotizing pancreatitis, that sounds intense. What does that mean exactly?
It's extremely serious. Basically, the pancreas gets severely inflamed, damaged, and the tissue around it starts to die off. It causes major complications, needs intensive care, really dangerous.
Wow. And despite the medical efforts?
The news came on May 2nd, 2025. He passed away. He was only 33.
God, 33, that's just way too young. It really hits home the fragility of things.
It really does. And the reaction, the sheer volume of grief online, the tributes from fans, his castmates, it just showed how much of an impact he'd made.
You could really feel the shock, the sadness. It said a lot about the connection people felt with him.
Definitely. And another thing that spoke volumes was the GoFundMe his family started.
Right, for medical expenses.
Yeah, and the response was huge. People donated quickly, generously. It just showed the respect and, affection people had for him.
It really shows his impact went way beyond just being entertaining, doesn't it? He touched people more deeply.
Absolutely. Which brings us, I guess, to his legacy. What he leaves behind.
Even though his life was cut short, it's clear he left a real mark.
No doubt. When people talk about him, it's always that authenticity, the humor, the kindness. Those qualities keep coming up.
That's a powerful combination.
It really is. And maybe his example, just being true to himself in that public space, that's important, right? Especially for younger people trying to figure things out.
Yeah, the importance of being you.
Yeah.
And also the connection piece.
Yeah.
He seemed to really value community.
He did. With the cast, with the fans online, he built connections, fostered that sense of belonging. In our world today, that's pretty significant.
So his story, while incredibly sad, it does make you stop and think about life being short, about the impact one person can have.
Yeah, it really underscores just being authentic, cherishing those connections we make. His life, short as it was, really highlighted how much those simple human things matter.
So wrapping things up, we've looked at Kirk Medas from his Atlanta roots and early days in social media, right through his Floribama Shore fame.
We touched on his personality off-screen, the health battle he faced.
And ultimately, the legacy he leaves. Seems clear it's one built on being real, on connecting with people. His memory is definitely going to stick around.
I think so too. He made a real impression not just on reality TV, but on the people who watched him, who felt like they knew him.
It really makes you pause, doesn't it? Think about how much we let ourselves be truly authentic day to day and how much we value those connections in our own lives. Kirk's story kind of nudges you to reflect on that.